like that. For me, I just had to realize that you're not always going to be comfortable when you come in any field, in HVAC. You're going to be around people that aren't like you. You're going to be around situations that you're not used to. When you go home, you'll be comfortable. But throughout the day, you got to learn how to, get along with the person that's teaching you, even if it's hard. That way you'll learn and your time will come. Your time will come where you can be successful, whether service, installation, refrigeration. So you just got to be patient and learn to be uncomfortable. Indoor crawl, I saw it outside. It was like a black snake. I think I don't know much about snakes, but they call them king snakes, I guess. And it was outside, and I was like, man, I'm going to this crawl. And the homeowner was out there, and I just let him know. He was like, yeah, put him in there sometimes so he can get the rats. I'm like, man.
Hola, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reliable Trades podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and I'm an HVAC business owner here in South Texas. Plenty of good conversations to be had with good people and a lot of good stories that maybe you would relate to. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, any other location, please leave us a review. We hope to earn those 5 stars, and I really have fun doing this podcast. I appreciate everybody that watches or listens and makes this what it is. I also want to thank our sponsors that help keep this thing going. Jobber is our favorite CRM. I've tried different ones until finding Jobber that kind of controls the chaos that it is running a business and still being in the field and trying to get all the billing, quoting, submitting everything that you need to do outside of the field. And with Jobber, we do our maintenance contracts, we do our invoicing, our quoting, following up with customers to get reviews. That has helped our business a lot. So check out Jobber for yourself, see if it helps your business. You get a 2-week free trial and a special discount if you use the link down below. Vito Pro Pack is also a supporter, and I can tell you right now, even though I see a bunch of competitors coming into the field, they are still hands down the best tool bags that you can buy. You won't want to use any other tool bag. And the thing is, they have so many products now that you can find the one that is perfect for you. So make sure to check out Vito Pro Pack at your supply house or go to vitopropack.com. True Tech Tools has a lot of their stuff as well. Go check out their website to make sure that you can find the perfect bag for yourself. You won't regret it. Diversitech is probably in a lot of y'all's vans. I have almost something from all of those brands in my van ever since we've started. Packard is a big one for us as far as parts. They usually have something that we would need on a day-to-day basis. They are your one-stop shop for everything HVAC, and they have you covered for your everyday HVAC needs. And today's video is also brought to you by Resideo. Elite Pro is built for pros and powered by Pro IQ services. The new Honeywell Home Elite Pro thermostat is more than just a thermostat. It's a growth engine for your business. The sleek range of smart thermostats help you deliver next level comfort and convenience while standing out in every home. For more information, please visit resideo.com/proiq. What is up? We got One Man HVAC. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good, Adrian. What's up?
How's the weather over there? Has it been like in between? I think you said that it's going to pick up soon. Because over here it's been hot.
Well, right here it's not fully completely hot yet. Yeah. I mean, we were just in 50 degrees last week. So I've been having to wear long sleeves, small sweaters in the morning, and then I take them off. So yeah, it's not peak time yet. It's not hot.
What area are you in again?
So I'm in Atlanta. I'm about 20 minutes away from Atlanta, where I'm located. I'm in a small city called Douglasville, but it's Atlanta, Georgia, basically.
Yeah, because y'all in Georgia, y'all get that. Because we get it too, but not as I think you get it more, where it's like super cold and then super hot at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, so that's where we're at now, kind of.
Yeah, because y'all be going through like sweaters in the morning, then like it's hot as hell in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's how it is right now. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Even Kurt videos, HVAC guy, his videos, he's like, oh, it's a little chilly this morning. So yeah, I guess it's a longer transition here from the spring to summer, but
we didn't have a winter. We didn't have a winter. So running and gunning, I feel Not out of it. I'm not burnt out yet, but it's been hectic because it's just nonstop. But I also do refrigeration. So like recently it did slow down a little bit and we finally got rain. We haven't had rain in a long time. Like it was like that desert sand dirt outside, right? And dust
Yeah.
storms like when it got windy and stuff. Finally got rain. So I got a little bit of a break from the AC stuff, right? We're going to schedule that maybe next week. And but I got refrigeration, so that keeps me busy.
In Texas, right? Do you guys have
Yeah.
pollen?
Yeah, every now and then. So I have to keep track of it now because my son has allergies now. So like whenever that stuff comes up, and then he has like a cat allergy too, and I got to be on top of it. But yeah, we do get it. Not like I don't think we get it like anybody. I don't know about your area. Like when the condensers get real bad, we don't get that bad.
It's pretty bad. And like you said, it didn't rain for like a whole month. I was like, man, this all this time it don't rain, and
Usually in
we don't want
January,
rain.
February, we get rain here and nothing. And I think last year, nothing too. And then
Yeah,
this month, of course, we got like flooding, rain, and like everything at once.
yeah. I wanted it to rain so bad so it could wash off that pollen because it kind of gets me too as far as allergies.
And I'm not used to it. I never got as a kid and getting older, I never got sick. I don't really go to the doctor. I know I should, but my son, I'm like, well, I got to take care of him, you know. And
Right.
he's the one that has allergies and all that kind of stuff. And he's going on 12, or he is 12 now. And I never liked kids when I was younger. I mean that was just me, right? And here,
Yeah.
yeah, and here I am with two of them now, and I got to be dad and then be a blue collar dad at that, right? It's a little more difficult. And I just think of things differently, right? Anything that happens to them, of course, I want them to grow up, tougher and show them things and kind of, help them out growing up. But like anything that happens to them or if they need anything, like I drop everything for them, right? People talk about like spoiling your kids and this and that. I'm like, yeah, to an extent. But I think every parent's job is to make their kids' life easier. And that's kind of what I want to do. I
Yeah.
know you have a daughter, you said. How old is she?
She's 6, so my daughter's 6, and my wife is pregnant, and we're about to have a boy, so that's what I'm happy about. You don't want to just be a girl dad. I mean, it's not bad, but
It's different because I had my son first. Now
yeah,
I'm divorced. I'm with, my girlfriend right now, and it's her daughter. So like I met her when she was like 4, right? And so like from 4 to now, from 4 to 10, I've grown up, or she's grown
yeah,
up with me in the household. And like, it's different having a girl because I was used to having my boy and
yeah.
we did everything together. We did like all this stuff. And then now having my girlfriend's daughter, and she took a liking to me real quick. Like we got along really quick, but
That's
it's
great. That's
different.
great.
It's different because, they give you those sad eyes. They ask you
So
for things.
emotional.
Dude, don't even, yeah. We're here at the house and then something happens and I'm like, why does she get sad? And she's like, I'm emotional. I was like, okay,
Yeah, it's crazy.
gotta think about, how you say things sometimes, or just telling her no. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, and, like, about what you said too, like, about being a blue collar dad, that one's yeah, I feel you on that because there's days, if you know your kids are sick or your wife needs help or whatever, you still got an install already in
Yeah.
place, and you're thinking about that, and so it's hard being overall a dad, period, but blue collar, it can get to you too, you know what I mean?
I kind of want to continue that conversation, but can you introduce yourself really quick? Just who
Yeah.
you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is, Rolando, my last name is Aveldanes. In
It
Spanish, it's
didn't fit on the screen.
Aveldanes. It didn't fit on the screen, yeah, Rolando, and, I go by one man, obviously. Yeah, man, I've been doing HVAC since about 2014, 15 or so. I started in apartment style, working as a maintenance technician, but I didn't wanna go to school, so I just wanted
Hmm.
to jump field, not necessarily like HVAC. Imma be honest, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So my wife, she was like, "Hey, she was my girlfriend then, she's my wife now, so she was like, "Hey, you gotta do something. You ain't just gonna be not doing this. You gotta go to school." And it's not like I wasn't gonna do something, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
already knew Imma put in work. Imma do what I gotta do. But she was like, "No, my parents want you to go to school." My mom too, she was like, "No, you gotta go to school." So I didn't know anybody in HVAC. I didn't know anybody. I just, you would hear things like, "Oh, HVAC, they make money. Electricians, they make money," and stuff like that. So that's kinda how I got into that I graduated school in 2013, and after that, about a year and a half, that's when I started getting into that. So I went to the cool thing too was that I went to school, technical college, and I was able to land a job that worked with me going to school. So that
Oh,
really
that's
helped me.
nice.
That really helped me out. They were really flexible on that. It was a smaller company, so I'm very grateful for that because that really helped me out.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do because I had the same experience. I went, but it was obviously my dad's company. I went to
Yeah,
trade school when I found one, and then because I was his helper on the hot side, and he's
right.
like, him and my mom were like, I need you to learn HVAC and refrigeration. So I was like, okay. Finished
Yeah,
trade school, went to that, and I was going to school and working at the same time, which is difficult in its own too, trying to get stuff
yeah,
done. But I didn't have a lot of responsibility. I was just a helper at that time, right? So that helped a lot going to trade school and getting everything that you could get out of it, learning obviously like how to hook up gauges, superheat
yeah,
subcool, understanding the components, like that all helps when you get into the
yeah.
trade, right? Because then you're not lost. Like you can
You're
figure
not
things out.
completely lost, and you know some terms, and you know some steps.
Yeah,
Even though you
yeah,
see some people ain't doing what they tell you at school, but you
yeah.
notice,
Oh,
you know
that
what
I
I
had the
mean?
same
So,
experience. So I worked with these old guys, right? And then I had to, getting my license. I had to obviously get signed off by another contractor. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how they showed us in school. But okay, I'm just here till I can
but
get
you
my
don't say that.
license.
You can't say that.
You
They get
can't say
mad at you.
anything. No, I've tried, and you get shot down. It's like, well,
Yeah.
they're
What's
paying you, so you got to do what they tell you to do. And I
right,
remember that.
right. Yeah, yeah. So I dealt a lot with that, but it's really helpful though. So when people ask me, they're like, "Hey, how do I, get into it?" I'm like, "Hey, if you're already in school, try to find a job that'll work with you. That is a very good way because that really helped me out."
Yeah, we're trying to do that. We have one guy that is interested in going to school. I don't know if he's going to end up going or not because he's been enjoying work so much. And then
Okay.
he has a friend because it's a relative, and then he has like a best friend or close friend that is going to go to trade school, but he wants to work with us, I guess, during the day and maybe go at night or something like that, which I'm all for. I'm like, yeah, if you need, you're going to learn a good amount in school, and then we can teach you like how to apply it in the field. But I feel so bad because like we hired like 3 guys last year, like basically, and they've been thrown to the wolves because we're just so busy. I can't get with everyone, and they're just
Yeah.
out and a couple of them are running calls already. I'm like, if you run into trouble, just call me
Call
because like
me.
I
Yeah.
can't hold your hand every time. We're just too busy.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad thing necessarily either, but
No, they surprised
yeah.
the hell out of me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like they've been able to do
Yeah.
calls. Just one
Yeah. Yeah.
is a kid, so he's a helper, but he's been trying to be like, can I do that? Can I do this? And he rides with somebody,
Mhm.
but the 2 other ones are older and they're using like Chat GPT. They're trying to look up
Yeah.
manuals, call tech support. I'm like, if you get the job done, I mean, I'm cool.
Yeah. I mean, they doing what they got to do. They're older, they're more mature, so they understand they got to do what they got to do. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
But they never done what we do, so I wasn't sure because one came from nursing, the other one used to do maintenance for like a yeah, like a just coil washing at a big company and nothing else. So now
Well, he
they're
has
doing
maintenance experience, but nursing, dang, that's a whole different field. Man.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he smart kid. He's just knowledgeable and knows how to find the answer, and I think that's the most important part of what we do because that's something I learned from my dad was like if you don't know it, you better find the answer. Just don't give up on it, right? So go look
Yeah.
up a manual, call tech support, do what you got to do and fix that equipment.
Right. Your dad is tough, huh? I could tell by the way you speak of him and his stories. He's tough. He kind of reminds me of my dad. I think I told you that before. Yeah.
Everybody says that. I'm like, you guys haven't even met him and you're like, I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you were saying the story of where he got in an argument with somebody about parking and about his service van being too far
Oh,
away. He
I
wasn't
forgot about
having
that
it.
one. I
Yeah.
forgot
So
about
I'm
that
like,
one.
yeah.
So yeah, because we work at Walmart and stuff, and he's like, park there. I always park there in the front, and I always have the luck because I've gone a few times, and that guy is always there. It's like a in-house tech or whatever they have, and he's like, you can't park here. You got to move and this and that. So my dad pulls up, and he'll take up the whole area. He'll park all like messed up. He's like, let him come out here.
He wants him to come out there.
Yeah, he has stories, man. At some point, I'll have him come on here too to kind of get them all out there because it's a trip. Him and
Yeah,
my
that'd be
grandfather,
sick.
dude.
That'd be sick.
My grandfather
Yeah.
used to be a mechanic, and then he worked for the city, like handyman stuff, and that's where I get everything is like work ethic and not being pushed around. It's through them. My dad started the business, and this is his dream. I never myself also did not know what I wanted to do. I was going to go for electrical engineering or something like with electronics, and I started working with him
Yeah.
because I got fed up at Sam's Club because they weren't paying me damn near anything. And I was like, I'm gonna go try a trade, right? Because you can learn a skill and just
Yeah.
find something. So he
Yeah.
started that
So
for
you
us,
worked
and
at Sam's Club?
dude, I actually liked it. I just didn't like the pay, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the managers, right? Because the reason I tell people to try, and I've talked with so many guys, not only online but like locally, right? Even our guys right now, and a lot of them are happy because we just gave them raises. I was like, you got to trust the process, right? We start
Yeah.
you at what we think or like an entry level pay because we need to see what you can do, personality, and there's other things that you can't tell how somebody's going to work a lot of times, right? They can tell you that they have experience. They can tell you that they have, like I said, the maintenance guy, if they did refrigeration or HVAC before, they worked so many years. They can give
Yeah.
you the resume of whatever they've done. But when you put them out in the field, how do they act? How do they respond? How do they figure things out? Are they going to just, I can't do it, sell a new unit, right? I don't want
Right.
that. I
Right.
want
Right.
I want
Yeah.
repair. And like
Yeah.
that one guy that I mentioned that did maintenance, he works on cars and he does other stuff, right? So he has that mindset, but he has the same mindset that me and my dad have, where it's like if we can't do something, we're gonna figure out another way to do it or fix it
Right.
or MacGyver it, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Until you get the part or talk to the customer, see what they want to do. Like that kid has that. So that's what I've
Okay.
learned. I didn't know that before. I learned it after he worked for a
Through
while,
HVAC.
and then he got
Okay.
a raise, right? So you got to trust the process of betting on yourself, getting into it, and proving yourself. That's the only way you can do it. Because when I worked at Sam's Club, I liked it there. I liked the people, but they were always hounding me like I'm not doing enough. And
Yeah.
I worked
Yeah.
by myself as a new kid, like out of high school, in the grocery section when I was supposed to work with two old guys and they pulled them out to other places. So I worked by
So you were by
myself
yourself.
a ton, restocking, throwing out trash, helping all the customers because that's where most of them were in that grocery section. And it's like, I'm not doing enough. I felt so good when I gave my notice and they're like, why? What are you doing? Like, we don't want you to leave.
We
I'm like,
need
oh,
you.
now,
Yeah.
now you need
Now
me,
they know.
right? And I'm like, I felt so good telling them I'm going to go work for my dad. Like, screw this job. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere. I'm going to go learn a trade.
Piggyback of what you said. I mean, you don't know somebody until they been thrown out there. Like you said, they can tell you their experience. But experience also, you got to have good communication skills with homeowners or property managers, whatever. And that's what I didn't know coming into HVAC. Even now I'm still doing better to get better at communicating and vocabulary and all that. But I really thought, hey, you just got to fix it.
Yeah.
Who cares? But homeowners will talk to you. They want to know sometimes, and you gotta have that. Like you said, you gotta have everything. So
which
yeah.
is which is funny because and I wanted to kind of get into what you got going on, but like that reminds me of these conversations because we have meetings every now and then with the new guys because for the
Right.
longest time it was just me and my dad, and then my brother came in and he does a lot of our maintenance stuff because I like to do all the hard calls. It's just that was me. I was like, I'm gonna go out there, but the complaints that I hear, right? Because I'm like, you know, talk to me. What do you got going on? How's this? How's that? Checking up on like the calls that they've had. They always get like offended when the customer is like a little bit rude or
Yeah.
they ask a lot of questions. And I'm just there like, nodding and smiling. And I'm like, that's part of the job. Like
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah,
they,
and I didn't know that, but you got to build that character. You got to. Yeah.
yeah. And they get mad. I'm like, you can get mad all you want, but just put a smile on, explain
Right.
what you did and be polite about it. Like, don't take any shit. Like, I get,
Yeah.
there's a certain point where I get pissed off, but like, it takes a lot. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to be like, what, this and that. A lot of times they get, like I said, offended or whatever it is. And I'm like, just explain it to them. If they don't like it, if they don't like the price, don't worry about it. I'm the one that has
Yeah.
to deal with them at the end of the day, right? You just have to show up, talk to them, do the work, explain what you did, and then move on to the next call. That's all you got to do. I used to get complaints too because
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Like go in, fix it, and I was good at that. I always fixed any call that I went out to, even if it took me all day, but I got it going.
Right.
And then my dad was like, "We're getting complaints." I'm like, "Why?" I fixed it because you didn't talk to them, you didn't say hi to them, you didn't explain anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't realize that that was a thing, but okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a thing. So, I mean, we just gotta, like I said, build character. And I didn't know that, but I started learning that throughout the years.
Are you running your own business now?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm running my business. I still do sub work. So I get a lot of questions. How do you get so many calls? How do you get so many
Yeah.
leads? A lot of them, most of them aren't mine. I'm a subcontractor for another contractor that gives me his service calls, and I don't do installs for him because I'm kind of like particular about my installs. I want to do them kind of nice, take my time. So I told him I can't do installs for him. But a lot of service calls, I get it through them, also through one property management company, and then obviously word of mouth, customers that I have. But yeah, it's my own thing I got going. Yeah.
And that subcontract, is that like a friend that you had, or is that like something you got somebody you met later on?
Oh man, it's somebody I met later on. That's what's key about networking. That's
Yeah.
networking to take you far. I don't even know the dude. I don't know him. I don't know him personally in person, and I've been doing work for him 2 years. So I mean, we talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've done like meetings and stuff like that. But other than that, he's a real cool guy. He trusts me. He's seen my reputation, I guess, and he gives me his calls. But yeah, that's not a friend or anything. So that lets you
And
know that you got a network.
yeah, and how did he find you?
Facebook.
Mm.
Hit one of his in-house techs, one of his actual employees. He put on Facebook, "Hey, is anybody in Atlanta interested in taking on service calls?" And on Facebook, I just commented, "Yes, I can do this if you're interested in subcontracting," and it just worked out. So we built a pretty good relationship. Yeah.
You never know. That's why I tell people too, just put yourself out there, like answer any ads, or
Right.
like Facebook is one of those too. Like if you see anything, just comment or reply or message people, because you never know. We've had that too, like networking recently, because for the longest time, my dad didn't like any other company, and a lot of companies didn't like us either, right? It's all competition.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I've seen is like the newer guys, because everybody's opening up a business nowadays, right? You see it a lot. And I
Yeah.
actually have people that see me on social media and they're like, hey, I started my business and I'm in the area. So I've networked with a couple of them, and if I have anything, I'll throw it to them, or
Yeah.
if they need help, we're. I told one of them, because I'm good friends with him now, but I didn't know him before, like a year ago, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, we got a crew if you ever need any help," because he's doing really well, but he's by himself. He's like you, he's one man, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if you ever need a crew, like you can, we can talk about like hiring a couple of our guys to go help you. I'll go help you, whatever it is.
In 2020, when I first got my license, I was going hard. I was
Yeah.
whatever came my way, I was going in. So I understand what you're talking about. And now, if jobs are hideous and ugly, and I don't want them, and I know it's gonna be a headache, I quote them high because, like you said, that's when you needed the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we started, and I kind of miss those days. How long have you been on your own?
Oh, I was already a subcontractor around 2018, 2019. And 2019 is when I started applying to get my license here in Georgia. That was
Okay.
because it was
So
during
that's,
COVID. It
oh
was a
yeah.
wild one. Yeah, it was a wild one. So during COVID, that's when I started. My daughter was about to be born. I was studying, trying to beat her, trying
Dude,
to beat her and
I had the same exact thing. My son was born, and then I was still studying, so I took it right after he was born, because I was
oh,
like,
okay.
I need to get this done. I need to get, everything in
Yeah.
place. We're buying a house. We're doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, I need that license.
It's hard, but I mean, like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not
I
anybody,
tell
but
people that all the time.
yeah,
I was like, if I can do it, you can do it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah. So
horrible at taking tests.
wait, Texas, it's open book too?
Yeah, it is. It's
Is Texas?
open book. The time is what got me though, because the first time I went, it took me a couple tries. The first time that I went, I underestimated it. I was like, I'll just use the book for everything. You ain't got time, but like so many seconds, or like a minute per question, and it's a ton. I
Yeah.
forgot how many there are. There's a couple hundred or something, but you don't have time to be looking for every answer.
Okay. Yeah. Ours here, I think, don't quote me on it. I think 120 questions and only 100 of them count. You don't know which 100 they are, something like that.
Yeah,
And
well, here
we
you
get
have to get
straight
like
out.
a 70, and I
Yeah,
on the first try got like a 68 or something like that, 60 something. So I was so pissed.
yeah, yeah. Well, you ain't give up. You went back.
Yeah, I went back and got it. So I mean, it's all good. I remember that my son, being born during that time. I'm like, shit, I need to get my shit together. And
Yeah,
then after that, it ramped up, work wise, and it's just hard because I have this little baby, this little
yeah,
toddler, and that I got to leave every day. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's a hard time to start really getting into it because that's when I started working more, and it was tough.
yeah. That's how I feel like I'm about to be now once my son is born and my wife is in school. So that's making it like 10 times harder too. Like, but it is what it is. You got to put in work. So, it's okay.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I kind of miss those days in the beginning though because you're super ambitious. You want to hustle. You want to do everything. You have those long days working every day, and I look at things differently now. Now I'm like, is it worth, going out there? Is it worth the call? I turn down a lot of stuff now. And then I want efficient work. I want good work. Like you said, like you might want a perfect install. So sometimes we kind of take that into consideration. Like, you know what? Maybe it is better if you just get a cheap guy to do it and we'll come
Yeah,
back and service it, right? Like, what can I tell you? Because our price is going to be sky high because I want to do everything the right way.
exactly, exactly. And you kind of explain that to them, and either they go with you or they don't. It's not the end of the world.
I try to tell them that all the time. I'm like, dude, because I had that one recently. I didn't. I edited, but I haven't posted the video yet. Where that other company was trying to badmouth us. From what I understand, because
Okay.
I had a refrigeration equipment that we replaced a compressor. They said it was that I installed the wrong one, whatever. And I was like, no, confirmed it, everything. But I actually, because they were like, we need to put in a bigger compressor on this cooler, right? And I was like, I actually wanted to see them install that. Like, I would have had a field day. I would have loved to have seen that. Like, I was trying to get them to do it. I was like, go ahead, call them.
You talked
I
about it
talked
before,
about it.
right? Yeah, I think I remember you talking about it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Jay kept asking me, he's like, just say it, just say it. I'm like, fine. I think I
Yeah.
talked about it all night. So I was like, fine, I'll just rant here. And that
Told
happens
you.
all the time. I don't know how the competition is out there, but we have like a ton of competition now in my area, more so. Well, I guess it's for both AC and refrigeration, but at what point do you think you understood it enough to do your own business? So, did you learn it? Did it click right away? Did it take a while? At what point did you kind of feel comfortable doing this work to do it on your own?
I don't want to brag on myself, but I always been a hard worker. Work, labor and work, that's not the issue. What is the issue as far as having your own business is the business
The
side.
business, yeah.
So I guess I just took a jump. I never knew how hard it was actually gonna be because in the beginning, I had to pay an insurance payment because I didn't do my audit correctly and all that. So I guess I never actually knew. As far as working wise, I felt comfortable probably about 4 years in, maybe 3, 4 years, they made me a lead installer. And then I started doing service because I wanted to learn it. After that, I started subcontracting, doing like new construction homes, doing change outs and stuff like that before I got my license. So when I got my license, that's when I was like emailing all these people trying to get my own thing. And that's when stuff really started that I didn't know I had to, have W-9s for subcontractors and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. So,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
um,
And that's what I tell people because right now, and it was my dad's thing, right? Like he wanted this business and it was his dream. And he's been so like happy and proud. And, me and my brother work for him. And I told him like, you've changed a lot of lives because like, I don't know what we would be doing, right?
yeah,
Not only that, when he was at his previous company, he worked his way up from nothing because he was an electrician at like a hospital or something like that. And I remember those days. And then I recently asked him about it. He got, I think it was his best friend at the time or a good friend that had his own AC company, but then ended up working at a local place because I guess he
mhm,
didn't do well. And that friend asked him, hey, there's an opening here. Would you want an opportunity? Right. So my
okay,
dad did not know anything about the hot side, any of that restaurant stuff, but the work ethic and your ambition to learn, that's hard to teach. He had that,
Yeah.
right? So I saw him just dive in. He was always with these books. And back then you had to go in person and everything. I remember him taking all these flights because they would send him to trainings and all this other stuff. And then he worked his way up and he ran that company. He was like the tech of the year, manager, everything, right? And
Yeah.
he hated it. He's like, I don't like doing this. I want to go work. Like that's why he left to do
Oh,
this.
okay.
Right. He's like, they would get mad at him all the time. He would leave the office because technicians were taking a while. Right. He'd go meet up with them, help them do the call. And that's how he got, back in the field himself. They got after him for that. And they're like, we don't want you in the field. We want you in the office. And he's like,
He
you
was
know
like, I
what?
don't want to be.
This is not for me, right? Or that was a whole thing that happened. But that's the hard part, right? Because I find that myself too. Is my dad's like, you got to train these guys, you got to teach these guys, the ones that are coming in. I'm like, okay, but I cannot teach them work ethic. They're gonna have to show me how hard or how much they want this. I can tell them what to do, or I can tell them what to look for, or steps or whatever. But they got to do it themselves. They got to figure it out, and they got to want to do it. And I learned all that work ethic from my dad. So like I never gave up on a call. I never gave up on this. Like I wanted it to work and I wanted, the work to be good quality. That was always my thing. But the business side is hard because like the reason, and I'm telling you guys, the reason I'm trying to hire and get them trained up and try to talk to them and see who fits in our company. And I'm all up for if kids want to come in, because a lot of times they're like, I can't find a job because they want experience. I'm like, well, I mean, I'll take you in, and I just need help right now.
Yeah.
So
You just need a body. Yeah.
so I don't mind. But the reason I need so
Yeah.
much help is because if I stay out of the office too long, my paperwork gets backed up. My billing and all the documents and insurance, all that stuff creeps up on you. Taxes, like, yeah,
All the behind the scenes stuff.
that's the
It's
hardest part.
hard. Yeah.
So I purposely put myself in the field sometimes, and I'll schedule my week, and I'm like, that's the happiest that I am when I'm out working. And then
In
my
the
dad's
office.
like, how's the paperwork? I'm like, man, I was like, I gotta go back to the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. I know it. I know it. But it's hard. And then in the beginning, like in 2020, 2019, I would write out my invoices and stuff. I would go to Walmart and buy like these contractor invoices, you
Hmm.
know, papers, and I would write everything out. It was crazy. Then
Well,
I
we had
finally
that
got,
too. We
yeah,
had
like it's
I, I just recently during COVID, I think got my dad to sign over to what we use now as Jobber, but like
yeah,
the paper invoices drove me nuts because we had to collect them from everybody. I had to make sure they filled everything out correctly. And then all of our customers were going digital to where I had to type it out anyway to upload it to whatever website they were using. So I was like, this is taking me way too long to turn in stuff because I got to retype or email these out or scan them or something, right? And
right.
once we switched, I'm like, now I can just like, they type it out or they type it out, they can send it. All our customers pay really quick. So it's just
Yeah,
trying to run your business efficiently is hard. But I remember those paper invoices and I hated dealing with it. My dad he's like, I need you for HVAC, whatever it was, right? Like that's how I got into it. And that's what I loved. But then he started sticking me with all the paperwork and all the behind the
yeah.
scenes stuff, right? So I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's a lot that comes with it. I was kinda used to it because the company I used to work at, after every service call, we would write it down. They didn't have a software either. But, when I started doing that on my own, I was like, "Man, it's so much writing. Like, it's so much this and that." Like,
And that's what people don't understand, because not only that, and then also how you find work, like you said, networking, trying to talk to everybody in the supply house or online, anywhere you can. Because we've had guys come here, not to find a job, but they're like, how do you guys do it? Because, that they just started and they're looking for work. I'm
yeah.
like, I can tell you how we run things, but I mean, you got to go out and do it.
And everything takes time too. Some people, just because they see you, doing this, doing that, that didn't happen in a year or 2, it takes time. It all takes time, so you just gotta put in work.
Yeah, people don't realize when I mention either myself or the business, because it's the same, that I've been doing it almost 20 years, or we've been open almost 20 years. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
took a while to get to this position. Now, it
Right.
probably took us longer because I mean, you kind of had similar situation. Like we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We didn't know
Right, right.
the business side. My dad doesn't know anything about business side. He figured it
Yeah,
out on the fly. And then I came in and added whatever I knew or what I could find. I didn't take it seriously in the beginning, but I was a kid. It took me a few years to actually, take it seriously and want a career out of it. I was a little bit cocky myself when I started because I was like, I can fix anything. That was my main thing is I can
yeah,
fix anything, right? That's not the whole
yeah,
business there. And we had issues hiring, losing money, and we had to restart basically in the middle of after like 8, 9 years, we had to restart. Like, get rid of
yeah,
everybody, me and my dad, let's go, build this up again.
yeah.
So it
Refresh.
took us a long time, like to get to where we're at now, where I can take time off for my kids, where I can, do things like they have, eat with your parent day. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
can make the
Oh
time to
yeah.
do it. Or if they have events or whatever, right? I have my weekends back finally, but I still work every now and then. Just being comfortable. It took a long time to get there. It's not overnight. And that's what I want the new companies to
Exactly.
understand, right? All the kids that start their new company, like it's not overnight, and take advantage of when you're younger because I wanted everything. I wanted all the calls. I wanted the hardest
Yeah.
calls. Now I think twice about it, but I still do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you definitely gotta take advantage of that body when you're young. But yeah, like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. And like being comfortable, how you say you're comfortable, I feel like I'm not. I mean, obviously you're never gonna be 100% there, but I feel like I'm way better than I was when I first started right now. Like this year I've been able to take my wife to all her appointments. I can take time off if I need to. And I could schedule something and work Saturday if I need to, or even
Yeah.
Sunday. All of that comes with time, man. It comes with time and you learning everything and putting in work. So a lot of people think just because we put it on YouTube or they see our daily videos, it's not.
Yeah.
It didn't come like that out of nowhere. That's not how you start.
That is one thing, the reality of it is it's hard work. It takes time. You got to bet on yourself and build it up. Like there's no way around it, right? There's no shortcuts. Now, I think
Agree.
some kids are better off than others. There's like all the kids that I see now, everybody's starting up, you've been in business for a good while and you have a good foundation at this point in your career. And
Yeah.
I like to see all that stuff, right? Like some of these kids are better off than I was because I wouldn't have been able to run a business or be like a top level tech when I started, as far as like the what do you call it? The customer service side and the technical side, right?
Technical side.
It just took me longer. Like some kids have it,
Yeah.
some people have it right away. It just took me longer. So I would say like, don't give up on it. You shouldn't expect anything. Like you got to earn everything. And this is what we all work for because everybody's success is different. So I don't know do you ever see yourself growing bigger or do you want technicians? Do you want a big company? What do you think you would want for your business?
See, I don't. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but man, like I said, right now I'm comfortable and I know what I did was done right. You know what I mean? I know I fixed it the best way I could. I care about it's not so much, oh, I can't sleep at night if this person da da da. It's not so much that it's more like, man, I know I did that right and I feel good that I did it right and I'm not gonna have a call back. It's kind of hard to say other people won't take care of your company like that. Because I'm not saying there's bad people. I'm so comfortable right now, me doing everything I'm not thinking about that. I don't mind it. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
You know.
So like for me, this is my dad's company, right? This is his dream that I'll keep saying. He wanted
Okay.
like for it to grow into a decent sized company. We just could never get there. And I know he's super happy right now that we actually have a crew and, it's not all on me and him. Like that's all fine. And I told
Yeah.
him, I'm going to go interview some kids because we're looking to hire again, right? So I need to actually message them before I forget. And I was like, I think we need one or two more people just to be safe because of the amount of work that we have. But I told him, I was like, if I'm being honest, if this was my company, if this was just HVAC, me, I would just be
Yeah.
doing this by myself. Like I would, because I
Yeah.
see you, I see Kurt, I see all these other guys. I'm like, that's kind of a cool thing to do as well, right? You're your own boss. You do all the work. You turn down with
Yeah.
whatever you can't do, right? or reschedule, whatever it is. And you make a nice living. You don't pay anybody. You don't pay employee taxes, all this other stuff. And you can do that. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like everybody's different.
Right. But commercial's different though, right? Because y'all need the help because of the crazy hours, the locations, and all that stuff, right?
If I was doing everything, which was 5 years ago plus, whatever, yeah, I'd be running all the calls. So I've told my girlfriend because we met after we started doing better, and I was like, you weren't there for those years where I was gone at night, gone on the weekends, never knew when I was coming home, or you weren't there for that. Now it's much better. I can do whatever, I tell the customer I'll come back tomorrow, or I'll schedule this, or we'll schedule you for the week, whatever it is. And unless it's an emergency, and then even then we have guys, I ask them because
Yeah.
some of them want overtime pay. I'm like, I'll pay you. Just, if you want to go do it, I'll pay
Yes.
you, because it saves me. I'm here for dinner with my kids and everything. So yeah, it's
How does
very
that
different.
work? If it's emergencies, you got to be there the same day, isn't it? Because don't they have food and stuff like that that can go bad and
Yeah.
or or no?
Yeah. It's funny because I think I told Jake the other day about it, because like in general, yes. And we used to do IHOP and Denny's in 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
And they would call you for anything. So that's what I mean when I used to do those long hours and weekends and everything, is because of those restaurants in particular.
Okay.
But we also do hospital work. That stuff,
Ooh.
like they're not going to want to wait at all, right? So we do it, and I try to tell them, because I just had a lady, one of our new customers, she's like, but it was my fault because I saw the request. For some reason, I just didn't catch it. I saw it like late at night. I'm like, oh shit, I'll go tomorrow. Because she was like, do you guys do like after hours calls and weekends? I'm like, yeah, we do. I'm like, if it's an emergency, right? Like it has to be like a
Right.
freezer. The other emergency for us is like if it's an AC for the eating, the dining area, and their
Yeah.
customers are upset, right? Then I have to go
Yeah.
out there for that AC, because they're going to be like, we're losing customers or walking out, we're losing money. So there's different scenarios for an emergency call. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you got to go out there if you can. I mean, I usually ask them, can it wait till tomorrow, just in case? But like, if it's a freezer, if it's something important product, sometimes they do have two walk-ins or two coolers or something, and they'll just move everything over to the one that's working and pack it up, and then we can go out there in the morning and it's empty already. Yeah, that used to kill me, but now it's like we try to schedule, we charge more on overtime, because I didn't used to do that, but that was my dad's way of thinking. He's like, if we charge too much, they're not going to call us. I was like, some
Losing.
some things you need to charge for, but we're more comfortable now. We don't do supermarket. That would be the hardest, I think, is supermarket, grocery stores, stuff like that, because that's super important. Because if a case cooler goes down, I mean, that's our display, that's our product. If a big freezer goes down or something like that, that's
Yeah.
way more money
Okay.
than what I'm used to dealing with, right? So I try to stay away from that. I think now all those places do their own in-house tech, so it's not like they're calling us, but like before they've tried to get us. I was like, no, that's too much, because I even did school districts, right? I didn't
Yeah.
realize how big their freaking freezers were and coolers and everything. Like I walked in there and I was like, they have like 3 evaporators in one cooler, or I think it was a freezer, because they store a lot of stuff. And it looked like a little mini warehouse. And this is when I had started, and I was like, I got overwhelmed, and we used to do work there, and you needed like an extra tall ladder or something to kind of get you up to the evaporators. And like I said, there was like 3 of them, I think. And then there was like a
Okay.
little mini rack system outside. And I mean, that's how I learned, because I had a senior tech, or this other refrigeration guy I used to work under, and like I made a lot of mistakes there, but like I learned a lot there too. And I got to be that person now on the phone, because my dad was the phone guy for a long time, and I kind of took that away from him, and now I'm
Yeah.
dealing with it, and I do not like it, but I'm dealing with it. But now I have to hear about like these mistakes that they make, or I go back and I'm like,
Yeah.
my dad got after them for leaving trash on a maintenance, and it's like, guys,
Okay.
come on, like, I mean, they won't do it again, right? But that's what drives me nuts. Is like, I didn't do it, I didn't oversee it, I wasn't there. It
Right.
drives me
Right.
nuts.
Yeah. I mean, but like you said, you kind of got to get over that if you want to grow, and which is not bad. We all make mistakes. I mean, we make
Yeah.
mistakes, but as of now, I'm comfortable where I'm at. So, but if an opportunity comes, maybe so. But like you said, you got to get over that mindset. if you want to grow.
I always had something to prove, I felt like. So that was always
Yeah.
my thing. Like, I'm going to be the best technician that I can be, because I had a lot of old guys that I worked with, or just competition in the area. And I just never wanted to look stupid, or, you know, be outdone by somebody else. Like, that was always
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
feel the same way. Even starting like in the initial like doing installs, like, man, my install is better than yours, or nah, I got done before you. But I mean, it's a good thing to have that, but you also got to take your time and try to analyze things too. So
And that's what I'm finding out. I'm like, not everybody can do top level work when
yeah,
they come in, right?
yeah,
Like, they have their own little things that they do well.
right. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that a lot too. I mean, I can't do some stuff that somebody else can do, so you got to just see what works.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're trying to grow. So that's all. I keep telling my dad, these are growing pains. I was like, I get mad too,
Yeah,
but like,
that's a
these are
good
growing
pain.
pains.
That's a good pain. That's a good problem to have.
I tell him, I was like, go look at your bank account. I was like, it's making us money, right? Like, we've doubled over the past couple of years, over and over. I'm like, we're doing
That's what's
something
up.
right. Just
Yeah,
let them do what they're good at.
that's good, man. That's good. You guys are in
So,
what city of Texas?
McAllen,
Oh, it's like towards south, is like towards
well, you know where
where
it's at. Some people don't.
I think I've heard
Yeah.
of it. You don't know
Uh,
why I know where it's at. I'm just playing. You don't want to know why I had to go pick somebody up from
yeah, it's
there.
south by the border.
Yeah.
Some people know Brownsville. Some people know some other cities that are closer to like the beach and stuff. We cover
Yeah.
this whole area. What I like, what we mentioned earlier, is being comfortable, right? Like, when you start, you take all the calls, all the shitty calls, all the hard calls. You barely make any money on some of them sometimes, right? You lose money sometimes, it happens. But being comfortable is also like picking and choosing your customers, right? Like, you want those good customers that pay on time, that let you do the work that you got to do.
Yeah, we get calls like that too. People wanna be there sometimes, and they wanna be
Oh,
there when they get out of work. They wanna be at their home, which is understandable, but, sometimes the location-wise, I can't be out there at 5, 6 o'clock at times. It
yeah,
happens.
I get that, because the same thing with me here is like, when I got to be here for a delivery or whatever, internet provider, Spectrum, whatever it was, I'm like, I can't be here all freaking day either. Like, give me some good time frames to be here, because I got a
Yeah,
job, right? So
yeah.
I understand that on the homeowner, but yeah, that one I was like, dude, honestly, I don't need the work. So if you want, we can do it. Call somebody else, because that's what I mean. Like, we're comfortable to a point where we can
Mhm.
pick and choose, right? Like, you don't need to do, when you start, you take all those calls, you take all the shitty jobs. Then you build up your brand, you build up your reputation, you get more calls coming in, you kind of pick and choose. And we turn down like gas stations, we turn down Stripes, we turn down a lot of other places where they would only call us on the weekends or overnight or
Right.
anything like that. So like, we're comfortable, we're doing well, and I don't need to do, everything. That's another thing, is when you get to that point, you kind of have to learn to say no, or turn down stuff, and kind of build on what you have going for you. Like, if you have a property management, I'm sure that brings you in good work. So you take
Yeah.
care of them, right? We try to take care of our good customers, so that's also good to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, you gotta do what benefits you at the end of the day.
So what made you start doing social media?
So what made me was when I would go to YouTube, well, this is not what made me. Initially what I would use HVAC on YouTube for was to learn more, which I would use AC service tech, what's the other one? HVAC school,
Yeah.
all those big ones. I mean, I would binge watch them while I was working the other company. But what really made me, man, was HVAC guy, Kurt. And he's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Every day.
I like the way he presents himself to his customers. I like his communication skills. I like his attitude. He doesn't overthink things. And I was like, man, and I would see that he works for a lot of rentals. So I was like, that's what I do. That's kind of what I do. I was like, that'd be cool if I could record my stuff. Instead of just being like on TikTok and watching other stuff, I'd rather just start recording my stuff. So yeah, but yeah, HVAC, yeah, Kurt, he was a big inspiration to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
does every day. I don't know how. Uploads every
man,
day.
every day.
Yeah, but our guys watch all those Like they watch, like you mentioned, Craig and
Yeah,
HVAC School and Ty Brenneman and Kurt,
yeah, all of
obviously.
those.
Like those
See,
are all great
I
to
didn't
watch.
yeah, see, I didn't used to get on YouTube to watch people work. I would get, like, to watch HVAC School, Craig and all
Yeah.
them, Ty, and then, I started running into, like, you guys and Curtis and, what's the other one? Quality, HVACR.
Oh, Zach.
I'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. They're recording their day-to-day thing." Yeah, Zach, right. That's his name. And then after that, I started watching those more, and I was like, "Man, it's interesting." I was like, that's how I kinda got into it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see, and we've been a fan of you and what you post because, and I I do catch every now and then because I try to take a break from it, and then I'll go back and I just start binge watching like everybody's
Yeah.
videos. I recently seen where you shouted out HVAC nights, where you were like, I hope they're on tonight and this and that.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're trying to be more consistent. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
know. Even though y'all be late sometimes, but it's all good.
we get, yeah, we get clowned in the comments all the time.
Blame it on Jake, blame it on Jake. No, but, and a lot of people, it's cool that I shouted them out because I got, like, 2 or 3 people that ask me, "What is that? What is that?" So I just tell them, "Hop on,
Yeah,
check it out."
I told Jake, I was like, once we get, I think I finally got the internet situated, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I got it in here in my office now, so I'm hardwired in. I think we'll be good
Okay,
now.
cool.
But I told him, I was like, yeah, we just need to start posting more because, like, not that I've neglected it, but it's just hard to run a whole other channel, right? So
And you have, like, 3 channels, don't you? You have a technical one, you have another one,
it,
or am I
I
wrong?
have the tech channel, but like it's hard to make content on the stuff that you buy for your content because I just like I get it and I just want to use it already, right? I'm like, oh, I should have made a video on that. So I only did that channel because I get a lot of questions on like how to do whether it's
Yeah,
YouTube or social media, or a lot of people on a podcast now. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an open book. Maybe I should put it in a video form. So like I've been trying to get back to that, but our business has been, it surprised me how well it did this year right off the bat. Like
yeah,
I
that's
didn't
great.
expect January and February to be good, but it has. So I was like, I need to do more with that and, build that
Yeah,
up. At the end of the day, that's what I prefer to do is, the HVAC stuff and running a business and all that. So I try to keep up with what I can. I do want to do more with nights and stuff like that because it makes me feel good when the guys are like that they look forward
yeah,
to it, or it helps, because they had a long day and this and that. So
yeah.
definitely going to post more. I've talked to Jake about it, so we're trying to keep that up.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, you can only do what you can do, but it does, it is pretty
Well,
cool.
you understand how hard it
Yeah,
is because you're doing it
I
now.
understand. 'Cause I miss HVAC nights a couple times, so, I mean, I miss it too when I'm out late. Sometimes my wife gets mad if I get home and I still got the phone on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I've been
so
trying to be better about that too, but like when you do
yeah.
YouTube or social media, like do you edit on your phone, or where do you edit your stuff on?
Man, so for the longest, I would edit on my phone through the actual app of the camera. But, Halls, right? Halls, Hunter? Halls HVAC?
Well, Jake calls him Halsey, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Halsey. Yeah, so he's actually in Georgia, man, and he put me on. He put me on how to edit stuff better and stuff like that, and to use my iPad and even, your laptop or whatever. So he put me on. I've actually met him in person because we've gone to, like, a
Oh, that's
class
cool.
together. Yeah, so he actually helped me. So now I'm doing more stuff on my iPad.
That's what
But
I used to
still,
do. So
yeah,
I had the phone thing in it. It was just hard, and I'm like, I feel like my eyesight
yeah,
is not that great.
yeah, yeah, I know what you're
uh,
like. Yeah,
yeah. So I got the iPad and I bought the pencil with it, and I just started doing that, and it helped me a lot.
yeah,
Until I eventually had to do like a computer thing
yeah,
because I have a shit ton of footage now that I need to edit.
right.
Um,
Yeah, you gotta have the whole setup because you talk to a lot of people and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah, I just
but yeah, I
recently
don't
had to buy a
try
whole
just to.
other computer.
Yeah, yeah. What was it, like a MacBook or what? No, like
I already had
like
a MacBook and I outgrew it. I had to get it's a Mac Studio, so it's like the desktop
oh,
version. Yeah,
actual. Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, it takes up time, man. So what I do, I just put my videos together. I'll edit some stuff, like some unnecessary stuff, but other than that, I try not to. Some people they'll make their videos funny and make them look clear. Maybe later on I will, but right now I just put them together. So that kind of works for me. Yeah.
as long as you put it out there, like however you can, right? Because the content itself is what does well, right? Like you and your content. People like you, or they follow you or subscribe because of you and what you show, right? Whether it's polished up or funny
Yeah.
or sound effects. Now, some people can go crazy with that and then it gets annoying. So, uh, I've seen some, too many sound effects, too much loud music, whatever it is. Like sometimes it's too
Right.
much, right? So, I mean, if you
Yeah.
keep it simple, it's still good. People will follow for like just seeing what the field is like, right? Seeing what it
Yeah.
is, because it's very different from like a school setting.
Yeah, it is very different. So that's why in my videos I try to get kind of context of the call. Like I'll try to record what the resident is saying is going on. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. And then I try to get context as much as I can. That's what I focus on.
We've already been here an hour, so I
Yeah.
don't want to keep you too long.
Nah, you good, you good.
So as far as let's talk about your setup a little bit. Like what do you prefer to use? Do you have a manifold? Do you have analog, digital? What's your go-to?
Oh, so I got for the longest I would use analog. I mean, that's how I started with, in school, in technical school, they'll show you analogs. I did not see no S-mans or no digitals at school at all. This was like in 2014. So analogs, and we would use our temperature clamp off our meter. That's how we would get our subco, our superheat.
Oh yeah.
So for the longest, I used that. Not just, but in 2000, probably when I first started my own thing, 2019, 2020, I got the S-mans. So now I got two digitals, I got my analogs, I got the probes, the Bluetooth probes. So now I'm just going all digital kinda.
What's your preference? The probes?
Well, the probes for troubleshooting. A lot of people they tell me to get the T and charge through my probes and pressure test through my probes, but I mean that is cool. I don't know. I don't mind going back to the truck to get my gauges, the digital gauges to charge or anything. You know what I mean?
It's something about it because even myself, I'm forcing myself to try to do more with the probes. If I had to choose, I like to bust out the manifold like when I'm going to do like when I'm going to charge or do like a new system. I prefer that for like charging and all that. Like you said, the probes are more like for diagnosing, troubleshooting, just checking pressure. Because I had just done the video on the Hillmore ones because I had to
I seen that video.
I had to bring up that in my experience, like sometimes you can't put the probes because they don't fit, right? They have
Yeah.
these service ports in a weird spot. I was like, you kind of still need some sort of manifold just in case because that'll fit anywhere.
Yeah. And I'm kind of weird. Like, I know what I got on my truck. So I know that I got my apps and I'll just use that for recovery. You know what I mean? And my old analogs. And then I know I got my digital S-Mens and I'll use that for new installs, pressure tests. I'm weird. And then I use my probes for troubleshooting.
You gotta
they work great.
you gotta take care of them though because they're not cheap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like the S-Mens, because somebody mentioned like I don't know, it was probably on social media, like when I showed the Hillmores and they're like, oh, you got to go S-Man, this and that. I'm like, yeah, if you have field piece, I mean, try to buy everything field piece because they all work together. But
Yeah.
they're also twice the price, right? Those are, I think the last time I checked, they were like $700-800. So,
And they don't bring the hoses. You got to buy the
oh
hoses
yeah, I
separate.
forgot.
Yeah.
Telling somebody, to go buy an $800 manifold, not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I had an issue. Well, you got to take care of them. So when actually my dad bought the S-Mens that I first got, because when I got into the field, I was just used to analog. That's all I used. And he's like,
Right.
oh, no, like I'll get it for you, this and that. Cause we had just started our business and it had already been a couple years in. I was like, okay, cool. But I'm a kid that just wants to get out of work and throws his shit everywhere. So I don't remember where I left them, but something hit the screen, blacked out. Right. And I was scared to tell him. And then he saw
Bet
it.
you was.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know they had a warranty and all that. So I think we did have to pay something, but our supply house shipped it out, got it fixed, got it back. I still have it somewhere.
I think
And
Philippines just warranty or like their warranty process, didn't they? Like back then you could just pay like $200 some and they would
yeah,
send you it.
it's the same manifold. They just changed out the screen.
Yeah.
So like I got that one fixed, and like I said, it's still somewhere. It's all beaten to shit, but it's somewhere there. And then I got a new one, a few years ago, and I know I did a video somewhere. Or it's somewhere in the video, and there was I think it was a capacitor that blew right next to it, and it spilled onto it. Didn't want to turn on anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And I had that manifold for a while. So I don't
Okay.
think I had warranty or anything, but I asked, guys that I know there if they could help me out. So they helped me do that. He's like, I'll do the warranty, whatever. So you got to be careful with those things too, because that's why I still
Yeah.
have or still prefer to have an analog set somewhere, because if you drop it, you spill something
Oh
on it,
yeah.
those things are going to go out. Which
Okay.
reminds me, like you mentioned, like the analogs, uh, I used to have that field piece thermometer that had two clamps or whatever you wanted to use. And that's how I used
Okay.
to get my temp clamps, pipe temperature. And that's how I used to check my walk-in boxes, like to check temperature, like, cause you could put the little K-type thermocouple on there and you could plug in your clamps from your S-bands on there. Like that's how I did a lot of my temperatures in the beginning, right? Cause we only had analogs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's
I still have that meter somewhere, but that's the old school way of doing it. Now it's like you got
yeah.
everything.
Everything's digital now. Yeah, I would use the clamp on the meter. You know, the meter has for your Fahrenheit and stuff. So that's how I would do it, and the analogs, and I would do the math. So it's good, man. It's good. But I've seen what y'all say that you don't necessarily need to learn that, and you don't. I mean, you honestly don't. Like a new tech can do good with digitals. Like you said, though, the only good thing is the analogs don't need batteries, so they're always gonna work.
Yeah, just you still have to like calibrate them. I remember because you got the little set
Yeah.
screw inside. You have to make sure that it was
So
always
they're
at
on
zero.
zero.
Checking your vacuum, used to be just if it's 30 inches down, you're good,
Yeah.
right?
Man, it used to be crazy, man. I'm telling you, when I first started, man, they was doing stuff that was off the chart. Like, it was not right at all. Like, I remember the dude I was working with. I mean, I ain't gonna say his name, so it don't matter. But we would pull a vacuum, and he would say, "Close the gauges. If the tone of the vacuum doesn't change, then we're good."
Mm,
What?
yeah, I've heard
I
that
mean,
one
like,
too.
what? They don't teach us that in school. So it was crazy, man. What we would see, it's just, yeah. I mean, that's just how it
I
is. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I started, nobody had a micron gauge or anything.
Nobody. I never seen a micron gauge, only in school. And then I started seeing them on the S-Mans, stuff like that. But
Yeah, because the one that I first bought was, I think it was a Subco one, and that was really there
yeah,
wasn't too many
yeah,
options, right? And
yep, yeah,
they would they would teach us, well, in the field, like on the analog, you get 30 inches mercury on your gauge, right? In a vacuum, because that means you're in a vacuum. Close your gauges, and if it stays there, you're good, right? So that was the
yeah,
whole process there, right? Like just give it 30 minutes, you'll be done. And now it's
yeah.
like you got to have this whole setup and make sure that you pull down to what you need to, and your
And
decay tests and everything. And I try to tell my guys that too. Like there is like a what I was taught was, and this must have been in school or somewhere with another guy. Like 1,000 was good, 700 was
yeah,
what you wanted, and 500 was like, if you left it on there for long enough. Now it's
okay.
like everything has to be 500 and under, so it's very different.
Yeah, I was always top 500, and then let it rise on the decay test above no more than 1,000. That's what I was always
Yeah,
taught at school.
similar.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's the same thing. Sometimes you can't get it down, and you don't got to leak. So it's the oil
no,
and
and
all that,
I
and
yeah, and I tell the customers, I'm like, this thing is old. I was like, we're not going to be
yeah,
able to pull like under 500. If I get it under 1,000, we'll be lucky. And you can tell because sometimes you got a lot of oil in there and it burns off and whatever it is, like, you did everything, pressure tested it, everything's good, but
yeah,
that vacuum. And sometimes you got to do that. I don't do a triple evac every time, but like if I struggle, I'll do like a double, like I'll break it and then
yeah.
vacuum it.
If it's
And you
not,
do pull
yeah,
down quicker or
yeah.
lower.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do it at all. Unless, like you said, I can't get it down because I've seen it. People tell me, "Hey, you don't do a triple evac," or "Oh, you got a triple evac." Like, no, you don't always got to do that, But I have noticed that whenever it's struggling, I look at the oil on my pump, and if
Yeah.
everything's good, then I break it with nitrogen, and I go ahead and do that again, and it does
It
help.
does
I've
help.
noticed it does.
Yeah, it does help, but I mean, how many times are you going to do that? How long are you going to be there? Like all that
Right.
factors in. Uh,
Real life, real life.
so you do primarily the apartments or residential like homes?
No, I do residential homes. I do have some calls that I go to at apartments, but not really, not really. I do primarily residential homes.
Do you uh do you prefer attics or crawl space, or do you have crawl space there?
Yeah, we have a lot of crawl spaces here in Georgia actually, because like those older homes, Well, depends where you work at too, you know. I work wherever I gotta go. I'm not real picky, but there is crawl spaces and attics, basements. Obviously, everybody prefers a basement, but
Yeah, those nice ones you see on
but
social media.
a crawl space, they can be bad, you know. They can be bad, you know, nasty, low. Attics, you know, they're just hot, you know. But it is what it is. I'm there to do what I gotta do. I feel like I'm young, I'm hydrated, I always got water, so I don't feel like I complain too much about that. But obviously, out of all three, I could live without crawl spaces.
I was telling somebody, I was like, I need to put on more weight. I don't want to be the skinny guy that can fit in every space, right? So when I
Yeah.
was younger, I used to do all that stuff too because we had some weird areas to get into on even on commercial, like get into drop ceilings, and you got to crawl around sometimes on the walk-in boxes because there's a drop ceiling that you get into with the ceiling tiles, but then there's piping and beams and everything, and if you do got to crawl in there. So I get a little bit of that. The benefit now is I look over and I'm like, I look at the helper, I'm like, you go up there, right? I'm not
Got
doing
it.
that anymore. The
Sprinkler lines
funniest
everywhere.
the
The
funniest
point.
thing, well, yeah, because everything now has been upgraded to where, like, we do a lot of fast food chains and stuff like that. Like, they have communication wires and Ethernet
Yeah.
cables and everything in that attic space. Like I said, piping and other stuff you got to be careful with. I don't know if you've heard this one from me before, but like the funniest one that I had, and it's actually the guy that came back to work for us. I think this was when he was like just a part-time helper because he came back after doing that maintenance stint that I talked about. The
Yeah.
funniest one that I had, because we sent him up there because this was already like, I was already a little bit like more supervisor type of deal. And we sent him up there. I think my dad was there too. And we just heard the highest pitched yelling that I have ever
Wow.
heard a man do. And we're like, what is going on? There was a rat chasing him up there on the walk-in box.
Dang.
And he jumped out and came down, and I don't know where the rat went. That's why I always tell people, don't ask me where about the places that I work at because you're not gonna like it.
You're not gonna want to go back.
Yeah, I think he was bolting in the evaporator to the ceiling right on the walk-in box, but you have to go on top to do that. And he was like, he's like, I need one more. I was like, all right, man, just take your time, but we need you to go up there again. He's like, no. Um,
Yeah.
I was like, just check. Maybe he left, But that
Yeah.
was the
Look,
funniest shit ever. It's just, that, and that never happened to me. It happened to happen that day. And I'm like, you're okay. We
yeah.
need one more bolt. Just get it in there.
Yeah, no, it happens. One time I was in the crawl and I didn't see a snake in the crawl. I saw it outside. It was like a black snake. I don't know much about snakes, but they call them king snakes, I guess. And it was outside and I was like, man, I'm going to this crawl. And the homeowner was out there and I just let him know. He was like, yeah, I put him in there sometimes so he can get the rats. I'm like, man, but I didn't see one. So I kind of sucked it up, but it was kind of scary on that one.
Just, yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah. But it happens, man. It happens. You run into stuff like that.
For me, on the fast food side, it's more like pests. Like you
Yeah.
see roaches, you see other stuff like
Yeah.
rodents that you don't want to see. I just told the
Right.
manager, and it's like sometimes they're like, yeah, they know
What
about
it
it. They're not
is.
gonna do anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
when
me
I was in
see.
school, I used to have a buddy, he used to work, refrigeration. He was going to school with me. He was in refrigeration, and he told us that Burger King was one of the worst that he's been to here in Georgia, that they have, stuff that you can't imagine that we wouldn't wanna go if we go back, that the ice is this and that. I was like, "Dang, I believe it, but I'm still going."
You know, yeah. At this point, I've made it this
Every
long, right? Like
Yeah.
it's been like that forever. You're
Yeah.
good. You know how many restaurants I've had to fight to tell them to put water filters like in their, whether it's the drinks or the ice machines, and they just don't do it, or they wait till we get everything in place to provide quotes and all that. And like, oh, maybe we should. A lot of
Yeah.
places don't clean like their ice machines or a lot of their equipment. We've had so many calls. So ice machine is one thing, like they're dirty unless they get maintenance, right? It is
Yeah.
what it is. The ice still comes out clear, funny enough, but
Yeah.
there's all that stuff
That's
in there.
Yeah.
We've had so many calls for fires too, like small fires, because they don't clean like the fryers. There's all this
Okay.
grease buildup. There's all this, and they're like, I see the work order come in, and it's like small fire or fryer caught on fire. Please come out to check. Like, if
Yeah.
you guys would let us clean them or clean them yourselves, like we wouldn't have this issue. So a lot of restaurants are just notorious for that. That's why I do like the hospital that we work at. We do a couple of them. They are clean as a whistle, man. Like they have us
Really?
doing maintenance sometimes every week, every month on every single equipment that they have in there. So those things are clean.
Yeah, a lot of those restaurants, they can be maintenance related calls that just they don't keep up with it.
Yeah, so like another reason that we're hiring is because maintenance has been taking over a lot of our business. And it's something that we never used to offer, or like we would if it needed it, but it's not something that I wanted too much of because it was just me and my brother, right? And now we have guys and they're able to help me and I still do them every now and then, but I would like to expand on it because there's so much there. Like there's so much left
Okay.
on the table for that because they need it. I mean, they know they
Yeah.
need it. They see these little fires or these little, whatever you find in the ice machine and all that kind of stuff. You can show
Right.
them and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get that done." So that's been a big one for us as maintenance. It's just convincing them or showing them or waiting for that call on something, and then you get to take all your pictures and be like, "Hey, this is, what you should be doing is, cleaning it." And I just offer like twice a year. I'm like, "Well, twice a year, that'll get you covered if you want like maybe a tighter schedule on maybe like ice machines or stuff like that. Like we can do 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is." But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done. That's I think we're kind of going in that direction of having a maintenance department just for guys to take care
Maintenance.
of that and it's a lot of money too. Like, there's different ways to bring in good income, good revenue.
I
And
agree.
I don't want to not offer it. It's a good thing to have for your business is offer that maintenance. A
Right.
lot of them will eventually get on it. And for me doing restaurant work, like it's a little different because if you do residential, I mean, you just have the AC to worry about. But on my side, it's like your fryers, your ovens, your steamers, ice machines,
Ice
walk-ins,
machine.
ACs too. Like we do all that stuff.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so it definitely is a good money grab right there. So yeah.
And then like, well, do you offer maintenance?
Yeah, yeah, I offer maintenance.
So
We just go out twice a year like you.
how do you what I struggle with is like because I just recently saw like some videos, right? Like how do you go about like offering or recommending repairs when you're out there? Like are you somebody that wants to change a capacitor if it's off like 1 microfarad, or do you wait till it's like bad, or like how do you go about like making money on those maintenance? Because I tell my guys just be aware, but if it's working, it's working.
Yeah, the same like how you said, just be aware. But I show you got Jobber, right? So I got Jobber, so I have like a job list form, and I check stuff off, and that's how I record everything. And I attach pictures. You can attach pictures to your phone. Everything is on the notes, so it's not like I didn't tell them.
Yeah,
And
but
everything is with pictures.
you're not pushing it though, are you?
I'm not pushing it, but I'll tell them, hey, this is out of range. It would be a good idea to replace it, but it's working right now. It can go bad. I can't tell you when, but it is
Okay.
out of range. So, and if they want to, I'm not the type to push it and force it down their throat or nothing like that. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
Um,
that balance because like and we do the same thing. Like even some of them require like they have their own website or their own app where we have to take
okay. Yeah.
before and after photos because I guess they haven't trusted some companies and it's
Right.
like there's one that's an app that only allows you to take photos. It doesn't let you upload photos. So you can't like fake it or anything, right? Or take pictures and
Right.
then do it later. So I have to tell my guys like remember to do it because it's going to require you to do it on the spot. So in there too, we will mark up or like tell them write up like, "Hey, this was bad," or this looks like it could be an issue. This is broken, whatever it is, right? And I tell them and I give a recommendation, but I don't tell them, "Hey, we need to do this right now." Not unless it's like completely
Exactly.
down or something like that, right? Like I mean, we do change belts, but like if it's a fan motor, because we do RTUs, right? Maybe one of the fan motors gave out. I'm like that. I would highly encourage you to do it now because it's going off on high head pressure, whatever it is. But if it's I don't know, because sometimes I see guys with their residential maintenance and that they're like, "Oh, this capacitor's off by," and I know there's a tolerance, but like
Yeah.
personally,
5%, it's 6%. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, yeah, that exactly is what I'm talking about. Like it's marginal,
Yeah.
right? It's like a point 0.5 out of range or whatever it is. and they're like, oh, we're gonna tell them to change it out and this and that. I'm like, I don't know. I would probably not. I'm like, I'll write it up,
So
but if you want to do it,
right. So yeah, so I guess that's a good example because I just ran into that probably about 2 weeks ago. I guess I pick and choose who I say it to like that because I get along with this customer of mine. I've been doing his maintenance for about 6 years, and his capacitor is at 17, I think. Can't remember, but it calls for a 20. It's below the acceptable allowable range. And I showed him because I got to state it on the report. I still state it on the report. But me and him get along so well that I tell him, hey, if it was my house, I wouldn't do it right now. Like it just depends who it is, I guess, too. You know what I mean? I built a good relationship with him, so
and I do the same thing. I do pick and choose with customers because I already know. Because some people will get me in the comments like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why'd you only replace this or whatever? And I'm like, because I know my customer and he's not gonna pay me if I go over. So if he wants to be cheap, that's on him. I can
yeah,
offer X, Y, and Z, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000. But if he chooses the cheapest option, that's on him.
yeah, no, yeah. I still document it, but I do. If I get along with the homeowner or whoever, I'll tell them the truth, man. I ain't here to
Because
make an extra
there
$200.
there's two ways to think about it, right? Because you, as myself too, I used to think at every call as like, if it was me, I wouldn't do it, or if it was me, I wouldn't do that or pay her that or whatever. But then you kind of fall into that trap every time if you do that too much, because then you don't
Yeah,
offer them
I
anything,
agree.
right? Yeah. So that's another thing is you still have to offer it.
Yeah, you still have to offer it, even when you offer system replacements. I mean, commercial's probably different. I mean, working in your field is probably different, but us, we can offer up to like 3, 4 tiers. you know, Standard efficiency, mid-grade efficiency. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna pay $18,000 for a high efficiency system but you never know. You just offer it, I guess. You know what I mean? So I see what you're saying.
I used to think that all the time, like they're not going to want a new unit
Yeah.
or this or that. And they're not going to want this. Then you start offering it and they're like, no, like we would prefer a new unit, right? If you think it's too much, we're putting too much money into it, let's just buy a new one and get the warranty on it, this and that. So you fall into that trap if you do it too much, but like I still keep it in mind. Like I know what they're going to say most of the time. So I will do or offer at least like a basic repair and then offer up to like a replacement or something, right? They have options there. And then you let them decide if they choose a cheap option. Okay, cool. I know it's going to work. I diagnosed it. I know what's wrong with it and that'll fix it. But I always tell them, I don't know. I think you mentioned earlier, I don't know if it's going to last, a year, 6 months, if it'll last you 20 more years. I have no idea, right? It's just, you do what you can with it. What tool bag do you rock right now?
My main service bag right now, I got the Vito TP double XL. That's like my main service bag.
Is
I
that your
have
favorite
everything
bag?
in there. Yeah, not my favorite, but that's my main one I got now. And for maintenance, I have the smaller version of that, which is the TP XL. Yeah. The and then I have a different one for installs. I have like unnecessary amount of bags. I even have the big backpack. I don't even know what it's called. And that junk was heavy. I ended up
Yeah.
not even using that. Like, but yeah,
So
my
you
main one
try
that I
to
rock right now.
try to lighten up a little bit.
And they got a promo going on too with the compact ones, the CB. But I
Forget the
looked
name.
into it, but I'm like, I don't need it. I'm like, I don't need it.
Well, that's
So
the problem, right? Like you see them and they're like, "Oh, I could use that for this or that, or it would be better, like slightly better."
yeah,
And then you're like, "But
but I
then
don't need it.
I already got the bag, right? I already got one."
Right.
What's a favorite tool that you have that you need every day on you?
I guess a simple one would be my 3-in-1 blade or 5-in-1.
Is
That
it
one comes in handy. I mean,
which one is that one? Does it have like the nut driver on it?
yeah, the nut driver, Phillips, flathead, blade, you can use it for strippers. I mean, that's a very simple one that I always keep on my pocket. So if I don't have that, I kind of get upset with myself because like I don't have a
It
blade.
bothers you?
Yeah, there's been times I get down from the attic and that saved my life instead of me having to go get my drill. I got that on me, even though it's just a blade and a nut driver. So that one and for bigger, I don't know. I guess I was gonna say my meter. I mean,
Yeah, everybody says that one.
yeah.
I was gonna say like what's a tool that surprised you that you wish you had sooner? I don't know if it's that same knife or something else?
I mean, there's a bunch, I guess, but I mean, I guess I have to go with the digital probes, the Bluetooth probes. I mean, you could be in the attic or you could be somewhere else and still checking the temperature split, seeing how it
Yeah.
changes when you adjust different things. Like that's sick. Like that's a different
That's
level of
one thing.
troubleshooting.
I mean, that falls into place. You probably wish you had it sooner because it's so convenient. People
Yeah.
ask me all the time why I carry my psychrometers with me, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't do a lot of AC. I mean, I do check the temp split and all that, but like I use them more for like refrigeration equipment because I just throw one in there and then I walk away and I can see if it hit temp. And
Yeah.
then you can see the humidity and everything else with those tools versus just a regular temp probe, or what do you
Yeah.
call it, the probe thermometers, right?
Yeah. But you use the JB ones, right? You like those? They're pretty good.
Yeah,
Ah,
they're good when
I
they
ain't trying to
work.
get that question.
No, well, they don't pay me. Well, neither one does. I always tell people Field Piece is the easier one to recommend. It's like the slimmest one. It fits in most
Yep.
places. I
Yep.
like the app personally. I don't know if you use theirs or MeasureQuick.
I use a job link app.
I like that app, honestly. But
I used to. When I first transitioned, I missed those. I missed the needles. I missed like
it
I was
it
like, what? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it helps you because you can kind of tell, especially when you're using different refrigerants, you kind of get used to that
Yeah.
from the
Right.
analogs, right? So yeah, it'll throw you off in the beginning, but then I'm like, I just need numbers at the end of the day. Do you have anything you want to end on? Anything for either guys coming in or guys maybe even looking to start a business? Kind of some words to end on.
Yeah. So I guess for the younger guys, I knew you were gonna ask me this. So I was thinking of what I was gonna say because I'm not good with words like that. For me, I just had to realize that you're not always gonna be comfortable when you come in any field, in HVAC. You're gonna be around people that aren't like you. You're gonna be around situations that you're not used to, even when it comes to not just working, even when it comes to communicating with people. So just get used to not being comfortable. Obviously, I'm not saying do things that are wrong or nothing like that. If you really want to learn HVAC or whatever, you just got to get used to that. Get used to not being comfortable and just suck it up. When you go home, you'll be comfortable. But throughout the day, you got to learn how to get along with the person that's teaching you, even if it's hard. I'm not saying take stuff or get, bossed around for stupid stuff, but you just got to learn not to be comfortable. And that way you'll learn and your time will come. Your time will come where you can be successful, whether service, installation, refrigeration. So you just got to be patient and learn to be uncomfortable.
And
That's what I would say for the younger.
yeah, not everybody understands that because even dealing with it, hiring guys right now, I'm like, you kind of want to pick and choose your fights, right? Because if we're telling you to do something and you're like as a boss or senior tech, and I'm all for feedback. I'm all for like if you have a better way to do something, like I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, if I'm telling you to do something, my dad's telling them to do something, and it's because the customer wants it a certain way, and we're just trying to get it, get paid, get it done, and all that. Like you got to, like you said, you got to kind of suck it up and do it, right? Like it's a job. Like if you can't always sell a new unit, you can't always do what you want to do on a job. You can't always do it perfect. So that's
Right.
kind of that aspect of it, right? Like you got a job to do, you got to fix it, you got to get to the next call, but just try to do it the best that you can. And as far as like personalities at work, like yeah, like I've been there. Old heads or guys that don't like you or anything like that, and that taught me how to maneuver like in the business side, is like reading the room or matching their energy or like the way that they talk or anything like that. Like that happens in the field, that happens with these store managers or homeowners or whoever you deal with. And you're going to see it a lot. You got to be a people person, not like super talkative or not super crazy, but like just see how they are, get along with them, make
You
them
kind of got to
feel,
blend in.
yeah, blending in, right? Customer service side is a big deal.
Yeah, so I guess too, because I get a lot of messages, people saying they can't find jobs and comments saying that they can, they have all these certifications. I'm like, you can get a job, especially in residential, because they always need a body during summertime. So that's why I'm saying, hey, you're probably not getting a job because you want stuff a certain way. Hey, if the only thing available is install, you got to get it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, because even us, like I'm hiring for stuff that I don't want to do, right? Like they're hiring for bottom jobs, right? So that's just reality. That's where they need help with because they're either they don't want to do it as the owner, they have other techs that are, doing other things that they need them to do, and you're going to do either like install help or maintenance, or you're going to start somewhere. The other thing I got, which reminded me right now, is there's a comment that I got somewhere, and it was about pay, right? So, because I think I had mentioned like you start at the bottom, you start over when you get into the trades. You might make, I don't know what I said, but like something minimum, right? Like there's a certain wage that you start at, right? And then you can build it up. And someone was like, "Oh, you shouldn't take minimum wage. You shouldn't take low pay." Because then you're gonna try really hard and not get anywhere. And I didn't want to argue with him, but it's like, that's really not true, because for the longest time we couldn't afford to pay like high dollar, right? But you could come in and learn a lot and get more money, or go get another job, right? There's always that option too. There's certain kids, and I get those messages too, like, "Hey, I want 20, 25
Yeah.
starting," right? I'm like, that doesn't happen, right? Not
And,
especially not with smaller companies. And those are the ones that are going to give you a chance more times, but they're going to offer 15, 16, something in
yeah.
that range. And sometimes even lower if it's like a super small company. And if you take it, just try and learn as much as you can and then move on. Or maybe you make them more money and they can help you with a raise or whatever it is. So there's different ways to go about it. That's my whole thing. Is just, it reminded me of that comment that I got. And it's like, no, I mean, if you put all you want into it, you get out whatever you put into it, basically, right? So if they're not treating you well, just go to the next company. I've been trying to hire again, right? Every single one that had a good resume was hired the next day by somebody. I'm like, people are looking, right? Because
Yeah.
I got these guys that were plumbers, handymen, guys from other companies, and they got snatched up real quick. So I mean, there's always opportunity.
Get your foot in the door, get used to not being comfortable, and your time is gonna come.
Yeah, man. So I think we can end on that. You're on TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube, right? You don't have anything else?
But Instagram, I don't really post on there though. I just started posting on TikTok, and the only reason why is because somebody was posting my stuff on YouTube. So I'm about to post my stuff on TikTok.
I told Jake the same thing. I'm like, there's somebody stealing like Jake's, I think Kurt's too. I think that's why he made a
Yeah.
TikTok too. Because they just take advantage of that. So I'll make sure to leave all that down below. Great conversation. I went way over than what I wanted to, but I didn't want to.
Oh,
I didn't want to end it. It was so good. So I mean, there's a lot
yeah.
of good information. I appreciate you for taking the time.
No, thank you, man. My first podcast, I was excited. I told my wife about it. She was excited. So thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank everybody so much for watching, and thank you for having me on.
That was a lot of good advice, a lot of good topics. So I appreciate it. Everybody watching and listening, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.